Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we wanted to talk about the coronavirus and a year later what's been going on and how that went through. Just wanted to make a video for our kids so they look back about this whole year, that kind of like the big things that happened in our family throughout the coronavirus. So let's just go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really interesting year. I don't think I know I haven't ever experienced anything like this in my lifetime, so definitely think it's important for us to kind of document this for our kids, because I think it's something that they'll remember, you know, and want to recall facts and details and what was the experience like for our family, you know?
Yeah.
So, for us, you know, my daughter and I both got the coronavirus in November of 2020. So that was an interesting experience. You know, I feel like it was very scary because there's just so many people, you know, dying from it, and it's just this really bad disease, and it's like terrible virus, right? And so
you just didn't have a lot of information. It was like, you know, you get information over here, information there, so it wasn't a whole lot of like clarity on what's going on. So
it was the unknown, right?
Yeah.
And for us, I mean, I don't know how we got it, I have no idea. But you know, for my daughter, I just noticed she woke up one morning, she wasn't feeling well. You could tell. I mean, she's a talker. She wasn't acting like herself, and so I was like, oh man, you know, took her temperature. She had a little bit of a slight fever, so I kept her home from school. And you know, she just looked like she had the flu. Like you could tell she wasn't feeling well, and that's not like her at all.
No.
And so I ended up taking her to the doctor. Earlier in the week, I had a couple of headaches. Kind of felt a little like tickle in my throat. You know, I probably wouldn't have gone to the doctor if Aubrey hadn't had such severe symptoms. I was concerned for her because, you know, she just wasn't acting like herself. So I took her in, you know, they tested us, we tested positive. Thankfully, you know, we had pretty mild symptoms.
Which is funny, is like, so me and our son, we didn't get it, so we ended up quarantining separately. Like, they were locked up upstairs while we were down in the basement. How long were we quarantine for?
Aubrey and I were in the room together. We took it very seriously because I really didn't want the boys to get it at all. And we were in the same room, in my room, with no TV. Let me just clarify, we don't have TVs in our bedrooms. For, I think it was 11 days straight. We did not leave the room for 11 days.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So yeah, it's kind of weird when you're like living in the same house but you don't see anybody. It's really weird. I will say some of the positives came out there. It was like me and my son getting some like one-on-one time. I know because I'm like super strict sometimes that I'm not his like biggest fan, but you know, I think spending that time together, he got to see, you know, I mean, I really care about you. I just can't have you doing all this crazy stuff all the time. So it was a good bonding experience for me and him. Yep. We didn't leave the house. That was weird. So we didn't go out to eat. So we had all food delivered to us. Yeah. We had friends. Our friends were fantastic. They brought us food and
dropping stuff off on our porch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also sucked because it was over my birthday too. So, I mean, not like we were going to do anything anyway, but still kind of sucks to be quarantined on your birthday. But anyway, we were just thankful that we had mild symptoms. So
moving on. So how did the coronavirus, this pandemic, affect our normal day-to-day lives? So for me, initially it was fine. We did like a mini quarantine, but at the end of the day, like, you know, you gotta have some balance in there. So with a son who has some mental health issues, and me myself having like really bad anxiety and stuff, there was only so much time that we could be locked down. It's one of those things. It's like, you know, I couldn't be 100% on one side, 100% on the other side. Like, I feel like people are mostly somewhere in the middle, and for me, like, and for our son, he still needed those relationships.
Yeah.
And so we were still able to like go and see some people and be able to make sure he was still able to
have interactions.
yeah, we definitely can tell that losing that time with people, being around people, he definitely took a step back.
Regressed.
That was really hard, to have to deal with. But then, we just as a family made the decision, like, we gotta let our kids get out there and interact, because we gotta make sure they can be fine mentally on the other side. Especially at a time when he's really developing, it was really important to us to make sure he didn't fall even further behind emotionally and mentally. So yeah.
There's got to be some kind of balance, right? I mean, obviously physical health is important, but mental health is just as important. And I mean, you just have to find what works best for you, right? I mean, we had to do what works best for our family. So, I mean, I think everyone may see it a little different, and that's okay. I mean, you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah. Now let's talk about some first world problems that we dealt with the coronavirus. Number one, this was our year.
This was it. This was the fun year.
Yeah, this is where we were gonna do all the fun things. It was my 40th birthday party. Our
10-year anniversary.
Yeah, the birthday party was supposed to be a 3-day event. It was still fun. I mean, it was great fun. I had a lot of fun, but a lot of the friends and stuff who would have came in town and stuff like that, they couldn't be here, and that kind of sucked.
It wasn't a big bash.
Yeah, it wasn't epic as I wanted. It was still baller.
We all know that Ricky is a little extra. So he's been planning his 40th birthday party for probably 3 years now.
Yeah.
So to not get to do what he wanted to do was a little bit sucky.
Yeah, but like I said, we made the best of it. I'm so appreciative of my friends that were able to come out and hang out with us, and it was still special. So
it was. And I mean, the really thing that was really sad for us was our 10-year anniversary was in 2020, and we had this huge trip planned with our family. So we were going to take the kids out of the country for the first time. So we had a trip to Turks and Caicos planned in October. Well, our anniversary is in April. We planned it in October because we were trying to work out what's best for the kids' school, and we're like, okay, maybe we'll still get to do it. And we just kept holding out hope, and it was just all right, we just have to pull the trigger, and had to cancel because the island was shut down. We couldn't go even if we wanted to. So that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you thought okay, it's this is gonna die down soon. We've already been on lockdown for 6 months at that point.
Yeah.
It's gonna die down, and it just didn't die down.
It did not. It's still going strong.
Yeah. So
which is a terrible thing in itself. But those are things that did impact us. The plans that we had, and I mean, I know people across the country had plans, but those are two big events that we were looking forward to.
And it's also the smaller things too that we missed out on, because we usually do a trip to Oklahoma every year.
Yeah.
We did not go to Oklahoma.
I haven't seen my mom in probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Going on 2 years.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I've seen my grandmother once, and that was only for me to yell at her to ask her what the hell she was doing at my house, because she's 78?
Yeah.
No. She was gonna turn
80.
Yeah, she was turning 80, so it was supposed to be a big party for her birthday too. I was like, we're not getting a bunch of people around my grandma. She's just too old. If she was younger, I was like, let's roll them dice, but she's old, and so that was another thing. So I hadn't seen my grandmother in forever, so that's been sucky. And then, just seeing less and less of our friends that we normally like to see. Like I said, we do a trip to Oklahoma. We get to usually visit some of my friends. We're thinking about taking a trip to Arkansas to see my sister and her family and some of my friends there too. So that it's kind of weird. So yeah.
Yeah. We'll get back there.
Well, yeah, we'll get back there. But I will say the one thing that it did do is help us focus on some of the other things that are important. Family is important. Our family and our friends who've always been there. I mean, it really put things in perspective. Damn. You may not get a chance to see some of those people, so, it put things in perspective for us.
Okay, so that's kind of how it affected us just in things that we had planned, but it also impacted our day-to-day work life, right? Everything shut down in March of 2020, and thankfully we both work for a company who was able to kind of shift the majority of the staff from working virtually. So the office is closed, we all went home, and we've been home. We've been home for over a year now, which is crazy to even think about, if you really think about it.
Because I was always like anti working from home. I was like, I'm just gonna go to the office. It's just not very conveniently to set up at home. It's like uncomfortable, like just, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I prefer to be in the office just because I like to see people face to face. That's another thing I miss. But for me, when I work from home, it's like, well, I never stop, but I never leave my desk. Like, I don't get up, walk around, my steps up, it's terrible. My exercise is awful. But anyway, back to, sorry, I got sidetracked, but I just really am appreciative that we're lucky enough to work, because we know so many people that don't have that option and weren't able to do that, or we have friends who lost jobs during this time, and so we're just thankful that
I have some friends that still don't have jobs.
Yeah, so. I mean, we're just thankful that we work for a strong organization. We're able to make that shift. We've been home for over a year, and we will be here for who knows how much longer. I don't know, honestly.
I have no idea. So. And it's one of those things. Now that I've been working from home so long, I'm like, there's so many advantages. Like, honestly, I don't want to go back. I mean, I've discovered the joys of sweats. Like, I
don't want to wear clothes again.
Yeah,
I mean, this is my attire. Also, I don't wear makeup anymore, so I mean,
I don't know. I'm
embracing my authentic self.
Yeah, I don't want to dress up. I just want to, like, I can do my job just as good, actually better, working from home. I don't want to go back into the office. It's also been really convenient, during that time when the kids weren't in school, like, you didn't have to pay for daycare.
We didn't have to worry about what we were going to do, because especially during the summer when you didn't, like, nobody knew what was going on, and, some daycares weren't open, and it's like, what do you do? I can't leave my kids home. Thankfully, we were working from home, but,
yeah, it's
crazy.
It has been a crazy year, but like I said, would I be upset if I had to go back to work? No. I mean, go back in the office? No, but would I prefer to stay home? Definitely.
There are definite benefits. Like, you can throw in a load of laundry.
Yeah. I can tend to the garden.
Yeah, you can water the plants. So that, it has its advantages. So like I said, we're very blessed, very lucky to have the opportunity that we have. But I do miss seeing people.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely miss seeing people. But the thing is like, what does that look like going back into the office? Like, what are they gonna do? Because it's when you work for such a big organization, it's like there's so many opinions across the board. Like, are you wearing a mask? Are you not wearing a mask?
And you're talking on the phone. Can they hear you if you're having to wear a mask? I don't know. I'm just glad I don't.
Are we still doing social distancing at that point? Like, I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions. Yeah. Don't want to be involved in that. So, yeah.
Right. So, like, when we think about going into the future, what is that going to look like, right? We've experienced a crazy year. Not one like I've ever had.
No, who would even think that we would be still doing the same thing a year later?
I definitely did not expect to still be in this for a year. So. And
then still, like,
and maybe I just had wrong expectations. I don't know.
Yeah, and still so much ambiguity of what we're gonna do and what that looks like. There's like, I know there's a plan, but it doesn't feel like there's a plan, right?
I get it. Who knows? I don't really know. There's so many, people being vaccinated now, which is really good. And I don't know. Will we ever go back to normal?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I feel like the good thing about the things is, like, trending forward is, like, the schools seem like they're more stable.
Yeah.
That's good. The kids get to do more normal stuff. That's good. Sports are starting to get more normal, which is really good for our kids, having that social interaction. And it's good for us too with that social interaction, like seeing other people.
Getting out of the house.
Yeah.
And having some physical activity. Just learning, developing, growing together, building relationships. It's important. It's very important for our kids.
Yeah.
So.
And then, moving on, with, like what you were saying earlier, like, people being vaccinated. So, for a front, I was like, you know what? I'm not getting vaccinated. It's like, I don't even take Flintstone vitamins, let alone getting a shot. I don't do flu shots. I don't do anything. And I was just like, and so we never talked about it.
No.
And then I just like, I was talking about, hey, we should do a video about a year later about the coronavirus. And you were like, and I said, we could talk about like getting shots. Like, I'm not getting one. You're like, well, I thought about getting one. I was like, oh, I had no idea. I didn't think about that. And so, I mean, I wasn't not getting the shot because I'm like anti-vax or anything like that. I just feel the need.
You just don't do anything.
Yeah, I just don't do anything. It's just, that's my whole life. Nothing's changed. It's like, you know, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then you told me about your situation.
I mean, I mentioned before, I haven't seen my mom in probably 2 years at this point. Obviously a full year. And then I don't remember the last time I saw her because we live so far away. So I have to try to get in where I can. But you know, my mom's older, my stepdad is older, and you know, they've both been vaccinated, and I want to see my mom. I want to be able to hug her. I miss that. And so yeah, where we live has opened up to everyone 16 and up, and so I'm like, I want to get vaccinated so I can spend time with my mom and my stepdad, and that's important to me. And so Ricky's on board too now. He's gonna come with me.
Yeah, I had zero plans, but then she said, this is what makes her mom feel comfortable. I was like, okay, that's a good enough reason for me, because like other than that, I was like, nah, I'm good. But like, and that's the thing, it's like, although it's not something like I would do for me, it's me thinking about someone else besides myself, because it's like, okay, well, this is important to Courtney, is it gonna hurt me? No, I hope not, It is
Find
what
out
it is.
tomorrow.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes down, and I'm looking forward to like you getting to see your mom, and like our kids hopefully getting to see your mom and like hang out and take trips and stuff back to Oklahoma to see them.
Yeah, I miss that.
Yeah, so that was like our year in review for the coronavirus. We definitely like to hear in the comments like what your experience has been like, and so what you've been going through, or like some of your first world problems and stuff like that, or so if you had some real struggles and stuff, because like this situation has affected everyone differently.
Yep, everyone's had a different experience. So I mean, I'd be curious to hear what your experience is. I mean, that's really what it was for us, and still going. So it's not like it's over. So we're just still living it and figuring out, what works best for our family and trying to make the best of it.
So yeah. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We definitely appreciate you guys sitting down, spending some time with us about this issue. Please hit that like button. It definitely helps our channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.